Hello, hello, my real estate clients. There's breaking news out of the United States that will eventually come in to Canada as well too. In Kansas City, Missouri today, a jury found the real estate industry in the United States of America guilty of conspiring to keep commission rates in the United States of America high as prices of houses increased. The challenge with this lawsuit is that they're spot on correct. I've been fired from brokerages before because I've wanted to reduce my commission for my clients. So I wonder if there wouldn't otherwise be more lawsuits on the horizon for those individuals like myself who've been terminated by wanting to lower our commission rates. So my whole point has always been, in the city of Windsor, the average selling price used to be $70,000. Now the average selling price is $560,000 as of last week. Back then, we used to charge 6% for listing and selling a house, both, so 3% and 3%. So when a house, the average selling price was $70,000, you were paying $4,200, or is that right? $4,200, $70,000. Let me just get my calculator just to make sure that I'm spot on correct with all of this so that I'm not spouting off numbers that are not accurate. So let me see, 70,000 by 6%. Yeah, $4,200. So the listing realtor got half of that, divide that by 2, got $2,100 minus cuts and everything, and the broker of record and all of that. And then $2,100 to the other realtor, minus cuts and all of that. The challenge has always been that the broker has always demanded that their non-employees, their contracted realtors, charge full commission. It's always been the problem. It's always been my problem as well too. It's part of the reason for being at Real. I'm free to do what I wish to do. Free to do what's right, in essence. That's why Real is not one of those named in this lawsuit. So the challenge has always been that if I come in to you and I say, hey, I will be willing to do this. And if my broker allowed that to happen, then why not just do that for everybody? Houses are now $569,000. Why should I be charging 6% to sell a $560,000 house? It does not cost me $569 by 6%. It does not cost me $34,000 to sell somebody's house. It just doesn't cost me that. Yeah, I do a lot of different technology things that there are some costs to that. But that's part of what selling a house is supposed to be. It's part of the service package that you're supposed to be offering to somebody. So I've always made the argument here in the city of Windsor, as prices have gone up, why haven't commissions gone down? It is just kind of, to me, silly that commissions are as high as what they actually physically are. That's why there's so many people that are now realtors as well too. Geez, I can sell one house and make $34,000 and then I can just quit for the rest of the year. I like that idea. It's what some people have thought, and that's why they've come in and become realtors. It's why there's very few fully professional, skilled professions in this career path any longer. Most of those skilled professionals have gone on to other things or have retired, and there's a vacuum of skilled professionals coming in, people like me with degrees and designations. So I've always said this is wrong. And the court today, in a massive way, agreed with me. Like, Brian's onto something here. They have been conspiring to maintain commission levels. And they had proof of it in a court. And they found that these companies have to pay $1.8 billion in damages. And then the other thing about this particular case, and this is only one of the cases, is that the judge has the right to triple that award to be $5 billion. Now, RE/MAX was smart in that they settled before deliberations. They said, yeah, okay, maybe we have, maybe we haven't. We're not going to admit guilt, but we're going to go ahead and pay you something. And they were able to settle for less than $140 million. The other companies that said, oh, hell no, we're going to wait until the end and appeal this and appeal it and appeal it and appeal it. A company owned by Warren Buffett is one of them, just to be truthful. And they've said, no, we'll just go to appeal. We'll just have our lawyers get involved with all of this. So I wanted to share with you, because I am running for re-election on the real estate board here. And in my video that I just did for my re-election, I talked a little bit about a thing that happened to me. And I have the email up here. I can't show you the names on the email. I probably could, actually, but I don't want to be sued. It's not pleasant. So I was approved to run an ad at my prior brokerage before joining Real that had said, save thousands when selling your home with 3.95 total commission. And what I was planning on doing was doing 1.95 for me and 2% for the other competing realtor if somebody decided to do that. Because here in Canada, the seller gets to decide the commission levels. They always have. We can't dictate the commission levels to you. It's against the law. So instead, what we do is we can say, I can't work for that. You're going to have to call, there's 1,640 realtors here in Windsor, Essex County. You're going to have to call a different realtor or a realtor who has a business model to be able to do it less expensively for you than that. And really, Canadians are just asking for a little bit off. That's all that anybody's asking for. Hey, do you have any special deal for me? It's just like with my other businesses. I do some kind of quasi-retail stuff with my car business. Cars. Now, I've got this priced at $100. And so people do email me, hey, would you do 92 or 88? They do. And of course, the answer is yes. I know what I've got in it. I've got a little code on the back of it to tell me what I've got in that car. And as long as I can be profitable on it and I want to take that price for it, then absolutely yes. And so 99% of the time, the answer is yes. My job is to sell cars, not hold on to them. Just like my job is to sell your house, not hold on to it. So I had this whole advertising campaign all set up, all approved from my last broker of record. They knew what was going to happen. And it was launched because they approved it. The day it was launched, I was in Toronto. And they called me and they said, you must pull your advertising immediately. You cannot do that. I'm like, but you approved it. Why can't I do that? So the ad was, allow Brian Price, sales representative of this particular realty company, to save you thousands when selling your home with 3.95% total commission. Call 519-995-6145 today to schedule an appointment. More to offer for the best price. Why lower my commission, you ask? Well, I've always believed that real estate is about people, and people should be able to afford it. Pound Brian Price. And then I had this beautiful ad. and it had the brokerage logo like it was supposed to. It was all compliant. And then I got an email as soon as it was offered. Good morning, Brian. We've received many messages this morning from fellow realtors. Now you know where the problem is. And one of those realtors really went overboard and called me and left me a very bad voicemail. So bad that I could have had his license pulled. But I didn't. I let it go. And it's funny because I've worked with that realtor on other projects. We did a can drive together and put together just massive amounts of cans for a food bank. It's just really weird. And that realtor's selling like 10, maybe 12 houses a year. Why does it matter? So the email, good morning, Brian. We have received many messages this morning from fellow colleagues in regards to your ad that has recently surfaced on Facebook that they approved. X and myself chatted this morning, and we understand that from time to time, salespeople will lower their commission, and that is okay. However, that is done behind the scenes, part of the lawsuit problem. We don't feel it's proper to advertise such. It makes us appear to be a discount brokerage, and it hurts all of our colleagues. And honestly, it's just not an image this brokerage would like to portray. We have worked hard to build an amazing reputation for our brokerage, and it is imperative we continue to uphold that. Hence the lawsuits in the United States. And that's why the lawsuits are going to be coming to Canada here soon too. I've got the proof right here in front of me. There's no more proof that you need. We love that you're trying to create a market for yourself, but at this brokerage, it just cannot be done this way. Even though in Canada, it's illegal to demand a commission. It's a massive problem. Therefore, we are asking that this ad be removed as soon as possible. And also ask that an ad of this nature not be advertised. If you would kindly confirm, it would be greatly appreciated. Signed, broker of record. So when that email hit, I had spent thousands of dollars developing out this whole program. And I had wrestled with it, and I had sat down with my broker of record, and I said, this is what I'm thinking about doing. Can I do? Oh, yeah, absolutely, yes, Brian. Sure, not a problem. Okay, fine. So I did it, and I put thousands of dollars, and I even used the advertising agency that they suggested that I work with. I'd even gone to them and said, hey, your logo is going to be on this too. Could I get a little bit something? You know, I've given you $25,000 of my commission so far this year. Can I get a little something? No. How dare you ask us for any money? Okay. Maybe I'm just with the wrong brokerage. I don't need, as a realtor, I could choose to be wherever I want to be with a brokerage. And then I got the classic line. When I went back to the broker of record and I played the voicemail that I received, I then asked them for arbitration because it's my right to be protected from mean, nasty things like had happened to me. And the broker of record said, no, not going to do it. And I said, wait a second. I'm coming to you asking you for these protections. You don't have the right, once I'm asking you for that, to be able to say no. You have to offer it. No, not here. We don't need to do it here. Perhaps you're working for the wrong brokerage, Brian. That was clearly apparent. So, I'm like, okay, so much for this brokerage. And then I joined Real. And when I joined Real, I sat down with the broker of record and I said, look, here's what's going on. Here's what's going on in my past. Here's what's happened time and time and time again with every broker of record. And I just don't understand. Why don't I have the flexibility if I'm running my own business? If it's illegal for me to demand a commission, why can't I come up with my own program and be different than every other realtor? Oh, can't do that. And my broker of record at Real said, absolutely yes, Brian, we want you to be different. We want you to be your own person. Absolutely yes. That's what we aspire for. That's why we're here. We would love to have you over here. Oh, home. So that's why I joined Real. And that's what it's been. It's been, how can we support you, Brian? How can we get your message out there, Brian? Anything you want to do, Brian, as long as it's legal, as long as it's compliant. You're on the real estate board, Brian. You know what's compliant and what's legal, so go ahead, sure. And there's times that I go and will send something off to RICO or to the administration to have it reviewed. I have. Oh, you can't do that. I've had people tell me that too. You can't do that. What do you mean? You can't do that. Well, I've already got it approved from Toronto. I don't understand what you mean that I can't do that. I can't do that in your head, but according to the administration, the people that govern realtors, they've already approved it. Why can't I do that? You had them approve it? Well, yeah, because it's compliant. So at the end of the day, in the United States today, $1.8 billion. The brokers of record, or the companies, if you will, whatever, however the hierarchy is that you want to call it, had their bill finally come due. And that's going to be a bill that's going to come due here in Canada as well, too. Stutz Strasbourg, or whatever their name is, from the big lawyer company here on Willette. You better believe they're looking at this. And they're saying, "Ooh, hey, look at all the money we can make by bringing this lawsuit in Canada." And to be honest with you, I've got all of the proof that they need right here on this freaking email. So I don't understand. There's one other thing that I don't understand. I've been married for 27 years. I've paid off my house. I've worked hard to pay my house off. I'm 56. The cost structure for me to operate is just less because of how I've chosen to live my life. So why can't I reward my clients by having a lower commission level? And the answer is I can. I'm free to. But not in the brokerage model or the old archaic bricks and mortar brokerage model that's dying a slow death, but it's kind of a speeding up death right now because the courts have come in and said, hey, it's fine. You can go ahead and pay for your bricks and mortar building and all those people that run around in there and all those property taxes and all that stuff. And oh, by the way, you're also going to have to cough up $1.8 billion. And once the judge is done, that number might become $5 billion. And that's only one lawsuit. My message is getting out there. And we're learning today that what happened on this email was wrong. I knew it was when I got the email. I knew it was like, I'm going to have to move brokerages. And luckily by that point in time, I had already kind of spent a little bit of time with Real and knew that it was the place that I was going to end up having to be. And now I ask the question, why aren't there more entrepreneurial realtors like me here in the city of Windsor moving over to Real? I've been talking to them. The people have been asking me, so why are you over at Real? What's a Real? It's freedom. It's freedom to be compliant, and it's freedom to do things for people. So I'm getting ready to launch a couple of amazing programs. They're in development right now because I finally have the freedom, free from an administration that's been trying to carry on their golden goose for the longest of times. And the court has finally said, no, can't do it. And by the way, you owe us some massive sums of money because what you did was not right. So just wanted to share that with you. It's cutting edge real estate business, and I knew it was coming. It never made any sense to me. And now today is a new reality. There's a lot of brokers and a lot of brokerages out there that are running pretty freaking scared. Have a great night. Bye-bye.